Hi guys, it's Dale with the insurance. Today we're talking about an article that it's almost a luxury to have, but it's a luxury in the part that you have plans for it, presumably, or you just have it for recreational use. But it also it's kind of a nuisance because it takes maintenance to keep this thing up. The title of the article is Vacant Land Insurance. Do you need it? Right? And as you could guess, we'll get straight to the end and answer the question directly. Yes, you definitely need it. There are some things to keep in mind, but you definitely need it, and it's a great trade-off because it's very inexpensive, and you get peace of mind because you have coverage. Now, vacant land insurance it's what the title basically indicates. It's only liability because it's just land. It's vacant. There is no physical man-made property, right? So they're not insuring a home. They're not insuring fences. They're not insuring a well. It's literally liability if something happens on your land. Right? If someone's injured, if for some reason your land causes a fire to a neighboring property, the damage and the legal costs would be covered up to the limits, right? There are a couple things to note when looking for vacant land insurance. One, it may not even be your choice. If the land is financed, you may have to get certain limits. So go to kind of your banker, your financer, your mortgage company, and find out what type of what limits do you need for the vacant land. Another thing to keep in mind is what is this being used for, right? So if you're building a home, that's one thing. You may need vacant home insurance and vacant land insurance. For that matter, or builder's risk policy, but that's of another matter. If it's for hunting, fishing, things like that, you may need kind of a hunting land insurance, right? Which covers you for basically for the same things, but there's obviously increased risk because they're firearms that are being utilized on your land and things of that nature. So those are a few things to keep in mind. A lot of people think that their current homeowner's policy covers them for any vacant land they may own. This is not the case. So make sure that you get unique and particular insurance for your vacant land. Now, can it be added on through endorsement or something like that? You can perhaps work something out with your carrier, but typically you'll either have separate vacant land insurance, you'll have like hunting land insurance, or you add it specifically to kind of an umbrella policy where the umbrella policy covers just about all of your liability or any overflow from any damages that are assessed that goes over your current limits, whether it be auto, home, whatever insurance you have. You can add it all there. Now, things that there's one key thing to keep in mind that can void coverage, and that's generally negligence, right? So if you live far from this property is vacant, someone has built a tent or a semi-permanent structure on that property, is living there, something happens, the carrier would have grounds to say you haven't been maintaining this property, you should have known that this was going on and put a stop to it, right? Same scenario if you you're not shoveling the snow, you're not cutting the grass, you're not maintaining this property, someone goes, slips and falls, hurts themselves, it shows that you haven't been maintaining the property. Coverage can be voided under those circumstances, right? So do you need it? vacant land insurance, do you need it? Absolutely, you should do it. And it's not just because it's insuring something that's an unknown, especially if you experience an accident. But the value is significant because the pricing may be hundreds, a few $100s per year, and you get significant amount of coverage. Almost, I mean, you can get up to $1 million in coverage for something like that. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for stopping by, guys. We'll chat next week.